Hi everyone, I'm back. Thanks for coming back to my channel. This is Ginger Gerald Stitcher. I'm Gerald, and it's been a while. Summer has been very crazy for me, very busy, getting back into the routine at work as well as starting the routine of grad school, which has been stressful. It has been very busy. Actually, here I'll show you. Just to give you an idea of how much reading I've been doing in the last 4 weeks. I'm now halfway, so 4 weeks into my first classroom, or my first course, and this is how much journals I have read in those 4 weeks, not including all the textbooks I've read as well as writing papers. So yes, it's been very, very busy. So that's why you haven't seen me too much. Also, in the summer, I kind of lost my interest in stitching for a while, for about 6 weeks. I think that's partially due to just a rut routine of school. And so I was playing some computer games, which is another love of mine. So I play a lot of different games, usually simulation, city building, like the old classic SimCity type stuff. So I play City Skyline, some railroad type games, and that helps me to unwind, but it also helps my mind to stimulate like I do it in cross stitch, but just in a different way. So I was doing that for a while instead of stitching. So I wanted to give you an update on what I've been doing in the past few weeks since I have come back to stitching, and a little bit of plans. I have not had any purchases since you last saw me, because again, I kind of just lost my interest. And I'm really trying to watch what I spend and everything. So plus I'm going to the retreat there in Minnesota. Yeah, that's horrible. Anyways, so I'm going to the retreat in Minnesota, Minneapolis, with Michelle and Joan and all those other floss tubers and groupies. So I want to save some money, so when we get to Stitchville, USA, I think that's what it's called, right? Stitchville, USA, that I have money to spend. And also, I will be taking a trip in 2 weekends before the retreat in Minneapolis. I will be taking a trip to Seattle with my friend for a long weekend, just to get away and relax and explore the city there. So all of you West Coasterners, I think that's a word. Who cares if it's not? All of you Pacific Coast people, if you know of any LNSs in the area, in the metro area, because I won't have a vehicle or anything. So if it's something that I can easily get to by subway or tram or whatever the cars are, the public transportation out there, let me know, because I would love to explore some of the stitching places. So again, I had no purchases since I've seen you, except for to buy the patterns for the rest of the Stitcherovia quote cell, which you will see here shortly. But I got a lovely, wonderful random act of kindness from Mitch Stitch, is that how you say it? Or Michelle from Australia. She goes by Mitch Stitch, MICHSTICH, I think, on Instagram. So she sent me a nice card, and she had said that she found this pattern when she was going through her stuff, and she didn't think she was going to be stitching it, and since it's a lot more masculine, she thought I would like it, and I do. I think that's an awesome picture of some, as we would call them in the States, cowboys. I'm not sure what she said they are called in Australia. If she did, I can't remember. But so I will be looking forward to stitching that one. And she also sent this little one, and it's called Safe Harbor. So I thought that was a cute piece too. Should be an easy quick stitch at some point. So thank you very much, Michelle. It's greatly appreciated. And you will be receiving something soon. I can't say how soon because it might not be until I go to Minneapolis, but I will be getting you something. So thank you very much. Okay. So my stitching update. We're going to do this real quick because I'm losing light and I want to get this done. So the first thing I did was over the weekend, decided I needed to do something quick and easy to get a little bit of a finish in. So I stitched Jupiter. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you've seen this. So again, oh, it's upside down. There we go. So as you can see, I'm working on the planets for myself since I gave my first set to my brother. So I'm happy with that. I struggle with stitching with 2 threads of DMC on, like 2 over 2 or whatever. This is on 27 count. I think it's called Linda even weave. I know it's 27 count even weave by Zweigart. I struggle anymore with stitching with 2 threads because I'm so used to stitching with just 1 thread on my Heaven and Earth design as well as my Let Freedom ring, is that what it's called? That, I don't know, I don't like the way the threads lay. And I know there's ways like using a laying tool, and I do use a laying tool, but then I get impatient. So I don't know, I kind of like stitching on the higher counts or 1 over 1. But anyways, that's 2 over 2 on 27 count even weave, black even weave. And I'm going to take 2 seconds and turn on the light. And that's probably going to make my stitching not look so great and the colors not be perfect, but it is what it is. I need to make a video. So I had mentioned my Let Freedom ring, and I guess I could take it out of the Q-snap just so you can see it since I'm done working on it for a while. But my goal was to, here we go, we'll just do that. My goal was to get the center section of the building done along with the back stitch. So, and I did just that. So here we are. See, that's not too bad there. This is on 40 count Autumn Leaves by XJU Designs. You can find her on Etsy. Love her fabrics, and they smell wonderful too. So this is 40 count Autumn Leaves 1 over 1. And if you've noticed, and maybe you haven't, but I made a boo-boo. So when I started backstitching, I wasn't sure which color to use. And silly me, instead of reading the backstitching page, I just looked at the chart and then I had a hard time determining which color line matched which shade of DMC. So I messaged Lila, but I got impatient and I didn't wait, and I started backstitching up here with black, 310. Come to find out, it's supposed to be 413, which is like a really dark gray. But actually, I think so. I only did black down to the bottom of the cupola. But I actually kind of like the look that this has, and then it gives it a little bit more dimension. So I'm very pleased with that. I'm not going to pull it out. I'm not a fan of backstitching to begin with. So, but there you go. All I have left to do in the center section is to put in the backstitching for the clock face. And I'm probably going to change the time on the clock face because to me it looks like it's looking at an odd number, and we all know from my previous videos I don't like odd numbers. So that might be a little bit of personalization there. Anyway, so that is Let Freedom ring. by Lila's Studio. So then, I'm kind of going in reverse order of what I've worked on since you last saw me. So this is reverse chronological order. So before that, I actually pulled out my Stitch Rovia quote style, and I have to get this done because this is going to be a Christmas gift. So, and this is actually what I'm going to be working on next. Once I get done with the video here tonight, I'm going to put this back in the Q Snap and begin working on it. I have 3 blocks left. So here is my Stitch Rovia quote style, unironed, wrinkles galore, but that's okay. And as you can see, I already had the first 3 parts done in the middle, so I'm going to have to crinkle this up a bit to hold. So I've already had these ones done here, and then since the last time I made a bit, or in the last couple of weeks, I finished these. Again, I'm following my own color pattern, my own color selection palette. And if you can see with this one, I made the artistic personalization of not filling in the background. And I like that better. And I'm going to do the same thing for the one over here on this side. Only because the way this looks to me now, the way I'm doing it with the different colors, I think it kind of looks like a bulletin board. And these are all different posters that people put up on the bulletin board. So I think that's kind of cool. And I've had many questions on my posts on Instagram about what my color conversion is. And I'm sorry, I don't have the color conversion. I'm using color and cotton threads, which I do have the names for that. But I'm also mixing in threads from Silks For You, because I purchased a couple multi-packs, end of the thread packs things from them, and they don't have names on them. So I haven't been writing anything down. I'm just going with the flow, going with my gut, and making the color selections that I think work. And yes, there have been times, such as this green for the border of this one, that I was like, whoa, that's not going to work. But actually, now that you pull back and look at the whole thing, I think it looks wonderful. So, not to toot my own horn, but you know. But it's also funny because when you're working with a Q-Snap, you only see that one section. So you can't really tell if your colors are going to match based on the rest of the piece. So it's always fun to pull it out once I'm done with the block and actually look at the whole thing and see, wow, that does look wonderful. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's the Stitch Rovia Mind. I forget what the charity is. It's the charity sale that she is selling on her Etsy page. And you know, for $2.22 American or USD, that's not a per part. That's not a bad price at all. So it comes to about $20 for the pattern, and then use threads of your own, and it can be real cheap and inexpensive. And that is on 32 count white even Lugana. So just basic white Lugana. So there we go. And the last piece, which I know everyone's loves to see, that I worked on, which is the first one I worked on since I came back to stitching after that 6-week hiatus, is my Heaven and Earth design, King Henry VIII. And there he is. So I finished the first 2 rows of pages. So that's 12 pages done. The last 2 on each row is a partial. I have 3 more rows to go of confetti hell. Lots of confetti, because as you can see, this shirt was the death of me. And I have a lot more of that to go. This necklace type decorative piece on his His sash is confetti out the wazoo. I have a lot more of that to go. The poofs are not that bad, but they're just time consuming. And actually, I think this is why I took a break for 6 weeks, honestly, because I just couldn't handle working on confetti anymore. And this isn't even that confetti heavy. But then, and it's funny because I love these colors, so you would think that I'd be interested in stitching it, but this sat on my Lowry for 6 weeks, just looking at me, collecting dust while I played my computer game. So, you know, we all have to take our breaks. So there you have it. There we go, up front, up close. Yes, it's a little rough. It's on 28 count even weave, 1/1. And here you go, I'll show you my back. Because why not? There's my back of Henry. Lovely. Just love it. Actually, I think this is kind of cool looking. You know, a lot of people like freak out with their backs and everything. I kind of like looking at the backs just because it's so neat to see the way the different threads go. It's just kind of art in itself. So, anyways, if you're going to the retreat in Minnesota, you will be seeing Henry. I will be bringing him with me. I won't be stitching on him there because that's just way too much. Plus, I'm not going to have a stand there and everything because, you know, I'm flying. So I'm trying to take as little as possible. So, and actually, that's one thing I have been thinking about. What do I want to stitch when I'm there? You know, when we actually do stitch, which probably won't be a whole lot, but, you know, whatever. So that is in the back of my mind, but he will be there for show and tell. So, to finish out my plans for the next couple weeks are to finish the quote Sal, which should take me maybe 2 weeks. I might work on another planet. And then I have some other stuff. I'm thinking of once I finish the quote Sal, I'm going to allow myself a new start. But I don't know what that's going to be yet. And then I'm really looking forward to pulling out my London by Thea Governor again. So, I apologize if it was, and I'm only saying this because if it was loud, I have the air on because, you know, it's September 25th and it's 91 degrees in New Jersey, which is just, it's not a record, but it's just crazy. It's been hotter this month than it was the entire month of August, and usually August, if you're from this northern hemisphere, is a lot hotter than September. So I'm really looking. I don't mind the heat. I love summer, and I love summer, but I'm kind of ready for a little bit cooler weather. But I'm not looking forward to winter in any way. I kind of wish we could just flip and you southern hemisphere people give us your spring and summer again. I'd rather have that than winter, but you know. So if you were in Florida for Irma and Puerto Rico, I have some friends that moved down to Puerto Rico to do their masters that moved just last month. We haven't heard from him yet, but they are safe, so I hope you are all safe. If you were through the hurricane season areas, you know, it's funny, I love natural disasters, and don't take that the wrong way. You know, they're very destructive and they can cause a lot of harm and destruction. But I just think it's so neat how the earth can create such a thing as hurricanes and I sit there glued to the TV watching the Weather Channel, seeing what's going to happen next or where are they at. And actually, they were not far, about an hour from my house whenever they thought Jose was going to do a lot of damage, which we hardly got anything from Jose. And I was like, and I told my friend at work, I'm like, we got to go be groupies. So the next time the Weather Channel comes to South Jersey, to the shore, most likely Atlantic City or somewhere around that area, I am going down and trying to meet a Weather Channel guy. You know, those are the fans, the stars I enjoy watching. Not so much, you know, Hollywood people, but hey, whatever. So you all have a wonderful day. Oh, one more thing. If you're here this far, be on the lookout. In the next week or so, I will be putting up another short video on a thing that I'm working on, and that's all of the more I'm going to say. And it's going to have to do with the retreat. So, if you're going to Minneapolis or Conshohocken, however you pronounce that, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm not sure how much videoing I am going to be doing in the next month just because school is so crazy busy. And I mean that work and grad school. So until we see each other again, have fun. Bye.